This is Andi Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by Joe Cordina out here in Abu Dhabi. Joe, a bit of a bittersweet week, I imagine, this for you. Obviously, you was due to defend your crown against Rakhimov, but obviously with everything that's gone on with your hand injury and having to be stripped of your title. Yeah, talk about your feelings being out here still.
Yeah, I've made peace with it now. If it was happened like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, then it would have been a bit of a shit time. But yeah, when it first happened, 2 weeks I was a bit down in the dumps, and then yeah, I made peace there, like I said, and I'm out here watching, also supporting because there's a couple of my mates on the show. Also, I want Zelfa Barrett to win because he's a fellow Brit. Also, it makes a bigger fight for us. So yeah.
Made peace with it, as you say. How is the hand coming along?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see there. Can you see it? Yeah, so it's healing up nicely. I got a nice little scar. Some people I'd say I got bit by a shark and stuff like that, but yeah, it's healing nicely.
You're a bit more humble than that, Joe. Joe, just talked about that main event as but one of the co-features of this card, Zelfa Barrett challenging for that vacant title against Rakhimov. Has this ever edged ever closer? What do you anticipate seeing in that bout?
To be honest, I think it's a 50-50 fight. They can both box, they can both punch, and I think it's going to come down to who wants it more. I genuinely believe that, but yeah, like I said, I want Zelfa to win.
You said yourself you want Zelfa to win, but what does he have to do to ensure he is successful?
He has to show something that he hasn't shown before, because I've seen, like in previous fights, I've seen people go out and put it on him, and that sort of fighter put it on him, and sometimes it takes him a while to get used to how they're coming at him, and sometimes it looks like he don't know what to do, but then he gets into his rhythm and whatever else. But Rakhimov is going to be putting it on you from the first bell. So yeah, he has to show something that he haven't shown before.
Joe, if Zelfa's successful, you said that you want it to win because it's a bigger fight for you back in the UK. How big would you suggest that fight is?
It's big. It's big because it's super feather. As it stands, I'm not a world champion, but I am a world champion. I haven't been beat. Wrongly, I've been stripped. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a world champion. Then if he wins, he's a world champion, and then we'll fight. And then it's a big showdown. It's a British world title fight.
Just get your thoughts on a couple of the fights on the card. You said you've got some friends on here, and I saw you speaking to both of them earlier, Galal and Kal Yafai. Start off with Galal, an extremely talented man you know as well as anybody. How excited you see him out here in Abu Dhabi? What should you expect?
Galal? Yeah, Galal's mad, isn't he? Hasbullah, I call him. But
why do you call him Hasbullah?
Because he's small like him, isn't he? Nah, we used to call him Coxall Baba. There's another guy who's a little small, little madhead. He's got that little man syndrome, and he started trying to KO everyone. But nah, he's a good fighter, talented. What he's done in the sport, he won an Olympic gold. A piece of piss also. Two-time Olympian, and he's come out and fighting in 10-round fights in his second fight. So yeah, what was his first fight? He fought for the title.
Sorry?
He fought for his in his first fight. Yeah. So he's training for a 10-rounder in his first fight and winning a title. So yeah, he's a very talented fighter, and I got a lot of love for Galal.
A lot of talk's been made about a potential fight with him and Sonny Edwards down the line. We've also got Bam Rodriguez moved down to flyweight as well. How do you think, inside 2 or 3 fights time, as Eddie suggested, Galal would be ready for world honours, a fight with Galal and Sonny Edwards would play out?
I wouldn't know how it would play out because I just can't picture them two in a ring together a minute. And then down the line is how they improve and whatever else. But yeah, that'll be a good fight for everyone, wouldn't it? So.
Of course, Kal Yafai making his ring return after 2.5 years out of it. What do you expect to see from him? Will that ring rust play a part?
It probably will, but he's experienced. He's been at the highest level. He's been a world champion. He's been an Olympian. He's won medals all around the world, and he's boxed at the highest level. So yeah, he'll take his time. He'll ease his way into the fight. and get the job done, as he does.
Joe, Bivol-Ramirez, again, a fight which everybody's looking forward to. A lot of people have Dimitri as a favourite heading into that one. Is that the way you see it as well?
You would have to give it to Bivol, and I want Bivol to win because he beat one of my favourite fighters. Also, he was in the amateurs when I was about, so I've seen him first-hand boxing as an amateur. Do you get me? So even though we're not close and friends and whatever, but it's just that sort of, when you see people on the circuit as an amateur, you always sort of favour them when they're fighting someone you don't know. But yeah, I want him to win, but something is like in my head, I don't know. Ramirez is a big guy, he can fight, he can box, and he's massive, the size of him, and he ain't like, I know Canelo's one of the pound for pound best, but he's so much bigger than Canelo, and he's going to put it on him. And so I think he's going to have to show something he haven't shown yet, Bivol.
Moving away from that, just get your thoughts on a couple of things. Obviously, testing times in the gym, but Ryder Parker's only around the corner now. John Ryder, your campmate. How excited are you for his bout with Zach Parker?
Yeah, I'm excited because you've had a lot of bad luck, John, and he never gets a rub of the green, and it's good for him to be back in a decent fight, like a big fight. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Zach Parker's confident that he has the power to be able to stop John Ryder. You know John better than anyone. Are you kind of wary at all of Zach's power against him?
No. John Ryder, like, I've seen John, like, people underestimate John. Like, people that come and spar John, and it's like he goes through the motions, but he's a completely different guy when he's fighting. You've seen him against, what's his name? Daniel Jacobs. Then you see him against, what's the fella who he boxed in Vegas at that time? Bilal? Is it Bilal something? In Vegas? On the Canelo Jacobs on the card.
My mind's going blank now.
But then he's got power also, but he fights completely different to how he spars and stuff. So a lot of people go off his old fights, and the fights and certain people that come and spar just hearsay. But yeah, he's very, very experienced, and he'll find a way to win.
And then just away from that, obviously, just kind of get your thoughts on how the situation around Conor's unfolded and continues to develop since we last caught up. He came out that he had a second failed test earlier on, prior to the one which became public knowledge, and obviously he's vacated his licence as well. Just your take on how everything's gone since.
Obviously, yeah, it's still up in the air, isn't it? Like, people don't really know what's happening. But you've explained certain things to me, which I know what's sort of going to be happening over the next few months and whatever. But listen, I back him all the way. I believe he don't do it. It don't make sense for him to do it when you're getting the purse you're getting. It's not as if Chris Eubank's a prime Mike Tyson. So yeah, for me, it just don't make sense. Don't make sense.
Right, Joe, I think we swear we call it because you've got a bunch of kids running behind you, being nuisances. But I appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your day out here in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for speaking to me.
Go on, bro. Take it.